Hi guys, Trev here. I'm just going to teach you a little bit about songwriting, and this is just going to be an introduction to kind of chord playing for songwriting. There are many different approaches to songwriting, and I know some people are very into sort of writing poetry and words, and that's great. You could have simple sort of one chord and just sort of sing. Some people are very into like melodies. We'll do a bit more melodies another time, particularly on the piano. It's nice to do little kind of motifs, little patterns. But for today, I just want to do how you might write a song with chords. And I'm just going to do a kind of a random sort of element to it. So composition is also about sort of being creative within a structure. So you learn these chords and then you kind of mess about with them. So there's an element of kind of play. So what I've done is I've just, with my chord cards that I just wrote out, I've put a few of them out, and then I'm just going to pick some at random. So I'm just going to tell you which ones I've put in actually, because when I show you on a piano, it'll make a bit more sense. But in the key of C major, we've got a C chord, D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor, and we'll use a B7. It's actually a B diminished chord, but we'll just use a B7 for the moment. I just want to show you, because piano is really great for showing the what's called the key of a song. So if you think the white notes are all nicely presented, so the chords I picked were C, D minor, and you'll know that if we added a black note, that would change it to D major. You got E minor, and again we can see it's not E major because there's no black note. F, G, A minor, so not that, and then so the chord that is in the guitar chart is a B7, which is actually a little bit different, and what we really want is a B minor diminished. So that is a weird chord, and that's just theory, but you can think of the B diminished chord as kind of being kind of the odd one, if you like, and it sounds a bit odd, doesn't it? Because it would be B major, B minor, B minor diminished. Okay, and then back to C. And if I give them a shuffle, okay, so you can do this at home, and you can actually put any chords you like in a hat or whatever, and put the chords that you can play. So don't put kind of horrible chords. I want it to be fun. Okay, so pick a card. Well, I'll have to pick the card for me. So I've got D minor, and if I pop that there, and let's have another chord as well as D minor. So if we pick this one, so we've got E minor. So we've got E minor and D minor. So we've already got a little chord change. So E minor, D minor, E minor, D minor. Sounds quite sad. And that could be it. That could be our two chords song. Let's see if we can do a 4-chord song. Let's see if we can add 2 more. So if we pick a C chord, so C, E minor, D minor, a 3-chord song. Okay, so now we've got often songs are in 4s. I don't know if you've noticed that 4/4 time is the kind of the most common kind of time signature for most songs. So you can do things in 3, so 3 chords might work, but normally you have 4 chords. So let's do another chord. So final chord for our 4-chord sequence, A minor. Okay, so we've got, we'll stick with the same order. We can obviously change it around a bit when we're getting creative, but if we've got, hopefully you can see all of them if I just move it across a little bit. A minor, C, E minor, D minor. So we've got that sounds pretty nice. So we can, it's our song. We can do anything we want. We could say like, I don't like D minor because I find D minor quite hard to play. We could take D minor away and maybe make E minor long. So we go a long E minor instead. C, E minor, and stay. A minor, C. That's quite nice. Yeah, so you might make a change like that, or you might think, okay, actually maybe the order's a bit wrong. I think I'm going to start with the C chord because I think that's quite nice. Maybe if I swap these two around. You could spend absolutely hours doing this, by the way, because there's no right or wrong, so you can kind of swap them around or make them longer. So you've got C, A minor, E minor, D minor. Yeah, so that could work. You could say, okay, I'm picking on D minor a bit, aren't I? But maybe if I say D minor, it is a bit of a horrible chord, isn't it? So if we pick another one, let's see if we can have B7. Oh, that'll teach me. Okay, so B7 is even more horrible. We might have to swap that one again. But if you've thought, okay, C, A minor, E minor, B7. Works. B7's also quite horrible, so let's just see if we can pick a third one that's G. Okay, nice one, G. Okay, so G is quite nice. Let's see if we can do that. Okay. So that is pretty nice to my ears. In terms of once you've got your chord kind of sequence sort of set, and I would advise not making it too complicated because I've been playing guitar a long time, so actually to swap between 4 chords is fairly easy. You might find, actually, I just want to do 2. I just want to do C to A minor, and maybe we'll leave them for a chorus, so we'll put like a bit of a kind of a barrier there. That's fine, so you kind of have to work within your ability. But in terms of making up words, I'm going to suggest today just to try and write a couple of words that are fairly simple and don't reject them, if you like. So we could write about what we had for breakfast, for example. So think, okay, what did I have for breakfast? So we're just doing C and A minor. So, and then try and say or sing the words. For breakfast I had muesli. So for me, I've done a lot of songwriting, but it kind of writes itself in a way. For breakfast I had muesli. Shows how old I am. I do have some Crunchy Nut cornflakes actually as well, but I didn't have them today. But once you've gone round muesli, you might want to then go to the other chords. So we can sort of split it into 2, E minor and G. And what did I have to drink? Very boring. A cup of tea. A cup of tea. Okay. Okay. I'm sure you've got more exciting breakfasts than me. Okay. For breakfast I had muesli and a cup of tea. Again, we can add repeats. So repeats are a good way of kind of making it a more substantial song without kind of messing about too much. You don't have to do lots of changes. You can repeat it a few times. For breakfast I had muesli and I drank a cup of tea. Okay, so that's kind of the basic kind of building block to songwriting. You can obviously then tweak things. So perhaps I think I don't want to just have muesli, I want to have muesli with, I don't know, chocolate drops on it. And I don't want to just have a cup of tea, I'll have a cup of tea with 3 sugars. Okay, so and now I've made it quite complicated in terms of how am I going to fit those words in. Is that going to work? For breakfast I had muesli with chocolate drops, and I drank a cup of tea with 3 sugars. It's a bit silly, but the idea of it is kind of not rejecting it, to use simple building blocks and to build up, okay, on sort of simple ideas, and then use repetition. Okay, I'm just going to do a little bit of piano. So you can do exactly the same thing on a piano as we're doing on a guitar. You can put chords in a hat, and you can kind of make some chords and then put them in a random order. So when you're putting the chords in an order, you could... So C to A minor, and then E minor to G, A minor. So when you're putting the chords together, you could kind of play them sort of 4 times. So C, A minor, C, A minor, E minor, G, and should we try our song? For breakfast I had muesli with chocolate drops, and I drank a cup of tea with 3 sugars. For breakfast I had muesli, and I drank a cup of sweet tea. With the piano, you've actually got a little bit more flexibility if you get good to play the chords in one hand, normally your right hand, the higher hand, and you can actually do some movement in the other hand. For breakfast I had muesli, and I drank a cup of tea. Breakfast I had muesli with chocolate drops, and I drank a cup of tea, sweet tea with 3 sugars. I don't actually have 3 sugars in my tea, by the way. Okay, so I hope you enjoy that. Bye.